Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Make sure I speak nice and loud so everybody can hear me.
Good.
Because I was told something once. When you listen to people's tragedies, don't listen to it as though you across the room. Put yourself in that person's shoes. Make that thing intimate so that you really not only hear what a person is saying, but that you experience for the first time. When I was a young boy, I remember being in school, and the very first thing that I was taught when I was 4 years old, kindergarten, half a day kindergarten, was I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Somebody didn't like that, and they took it out of the schools. Then I remember on TV when they said, we don't want the Ten Commandments in no more of our courtrooms. We don't want them no more in our government buildings. Somebody said, you know what? I'm in agreement with that, and they removed it. Then I got online one day and I started reading about separation of church and state. And I noticed that the country that says, God bless America, has separated itself from God. So how can you ask God for anything if you've taken him out of your plan? If you've taken him out of what he's supposed to be about? Liberty and justice for all, one nation under God. So my experience with MSDF was when I was told that I could not have a cell phone with the internet. Got to get a phone, but you can't get one with the internet. And you tell me where you can find a phone without the internet. That's what I thought. So I was told on this particular day in October that I was not allowed to go to church. I was not allowed to go to the job that I had finally found because they were going to do roundups throughout the city of Milwaukee because some guy somewhere 20 years ago raped and murdered this little girl. Didn't have nothing to do with me. Didn't have nothing to do with my crime. So they came into my house. 2 Milwaukee police officers, Caucasian. 2 probation and parole officers, Caucasian. 2 U.S. Marshals, Caucasian. The place that they approved me to live was with my niece and her 4-year-old son. She had a computer. They came in and said, you're not supposed to have a computer. They found the phone, said, you're not supposed to have this phone. They called in. They said, we're taking him to jail for a cell phone. Took me to jail. Out of those 6 people that stood in my house, I had on a pair of basketball shorts. I had on some house shoes. I had on a t-shirt. It was October 31st. It was windy, wet, and cold outside. Not one of those people had the decency to let me put on a pair of pants and let me put on a jacket. They took me anyway. In transporting me downtown, the van got into an accident. And I was injured. But I was never treated for medical injuries, and they never took me to any facility, and there was nothing I can do about it because you're not insured if you're in a police vehicle and they have an accident. There's no insurance, there's no lawsuit. Can't call Michael Hupy, he represents those guys. So I'm in a bad situation. So I sit at MSDF for 28 days, from October 31st to sometime after Thanksgiving. Nobody said anything to me. Nobody talked to me. Nobody did anything. They don't let you shower every day down there. So if you're in the cell with somebody who smells, you just got to smell it. What kind of place don't let a person wash their body? What kind of place don't allow a person to do anything to reform or redeem themselves for what they've done? After 28 days, sit down there, they told me, they said, well, because you had this cell phone. Now, mind you, I hadn't had no problems while I was on probation, not a one. No dirty UAs, no late for appointments, no nothing. Everything strictly impeccable across the board. Told me you're in violation. We're going to give you 63 days. You can spend the remainder of your time at the House of Correction. Went to the House of Correction now. Remember now, this is November. When they let me out, it was January. I still had the same clothes. Didn't have no place to live. Didn't have no job no more. Had to see my PO the next day. Got down there, fortunately, because of my godfather, because I called my mother at 1 o'clock in the morning, because they release you at midnight. Called my mother at 1 o'clock in the morning. She was able to get hold of my godfather. He took me to his house. My niece, because of the trauma and because of the experience, she didn't want me living there anymore. I had to respect that. I had to understand that. But I got to see my PO. The son of a gun gave me the cell phone back. I still got the cell phone today. You cost me my job. You cost me my place. And then when I wanted to go to school, they said, guess what? You can't go to school. You can't work in 90% of the job market. But you got 30 days to find a place to live, find a job, or you go back to jail. There's no way places like this, any organization that is designed to hurt, harm, and hinder, shouldn't even be amongst us. If we're supposed to be the people that we claim to be, honorable people, people of integrity and things like that. Integrity is not just when somebody shoots down a whole lot of people in Vegas. Integrity is who you are when ain't nobody around. It's how you see people each and every day of their lives. We don't treat people the way we're supposed to. We abuse our authority. Those people that was in that house didn't know me, but they were taught to hate me. Was it because I was black? I don't know. Was it because I was a felon? I don't know. But for whatever reason, there was no decency in there. Why? Because we're no longer one nation under God. We're no longer represented by God. We're represented by the chaoticness of wherever you fall in. And we have to deal with that. We're supposed to be people of integrity. Jesus said, through loving kindness have I drawn men unto you, not abuse. And I'm going to close with this. The very Bible that we all read says, remember those that are in prison as though you chained up next to them.
Yes, yes,
I can't mistreat somebody that's chained up next to me.
That's right.
But I will tell y'all this right here, and I'm not associating anybody with as being animals, but we all got animalistic behaviors. And if you cage a person up and put nothing in to all of the demons and all of the things that they're experiencing for whatever discourse their life has taken, if you do nothing about that, the Bible tells us again that when the demons leave a man and return and find him empty, they come back with more. So they're actually released worse than the way that they go in. Because you put all these stipulations on them that don't have anything to do with the crime that they committed. But I got a little dog. And every time people come over, I have to lock him up. And every time I let him out, when the people leave, he runs wild. But when I unlock him, after people leave with his leash, he don't go nowhere. Because he understands that leash is associated with something of structure, something of stability, something that he can use, something that he enjoys. He sits right there. He let me put the leash on him and take him outside. If you let a man out of prison with nothing that has replaced what he has done, he come out worse than the way he went in, and you all become the victims.